The immense frozen wilderness of Antarctica has always captured people's imaginations, filled with wonder and intrigue. Recently, something truly captivating happened that deepened the mystery. The United States surprisingly announced that Antarctica has been shut down after a terrible discovery. But what exactly happened in Antarctica? Is there something dark and hidden that the United States is trying to keep from the rest of the world? Join us as we uncover the terrible discovery in Antarctica that has made the United States shut it down, the iceberg that changed everything. It all started on July 2017 when a huge iceberg about the size of Delaware broke away from the Larsen Sea ice shelf. This massive trillion-ton iceberg, named A68, quickly caught global attention. Not only was it one of the biggest icebergs ever recorded, but its separation also posed a serious threat to global sea levels and climate stability. The potential danger it posed to shipping routes and coastal areas led President Biden to close off Antarctica. The real trigger for this drastic action, however, came from amazing drone footage captured by an international research team. This footage revealed something unusual beneath the ice. The world watched in suspense as scientists and leaders tried to understand the implications of these findings. Initially, scientists were worried about the environmental and navigational dangers posed by such a huge iceberg. However, the drone footage uncovered something far more disturbing. As the iceberg broke away, it exposed a hidden cave system with a large circular hole leading deep into the ice. The footage showed a strange blue glow coming from within the cave, sparking theories that ranged from natural phenomena to hidden bases or ancient artifacts. The discovery quickly became a hot topic, with experts in geology, architecture, and even extraterrestrial studies brought in to study the images. The formations in the cave appeared man-made, but their origin and purpose remained a mystery. The glowing cave, in particular, captured the imagination of both the public and experts. The burning question was, what could cause such a strange, otherworldly glow beneath miles of ice? In response, the United Nations called for a meeting to discuss the findings, and President Biden's decision to close off the continent marked the beginning of a global quest for answers. The investigation begins with Brian's strange experiences, taking us on an intriguing journey. Oddly enough, the investigation into the unusual events in Antarctica started 2 years before a drone captured a mysterious scene in early 2015. Investigative journalist Linda Moulton Howe came across a strange story from the icy continent that quickly became her obsession. It all started with an email from a man named Brian, a retired flight engineer who had worked in the U.S. Navy. His story wasn't recent. It went back to his time in Antarctica during the 1980s and 1990s. Over his career, Brian had flown over Antarctica for more than 4 hours. During these long flights, he saw strange sights and objects that seemed like they were from a science fiction story. In one particularly disturbing account, Brian described flying over a huge stretch of ice when he suddenly saw a perfectly round hole in the ice sheet. This was no ordinary hole. It was enormous and led down to what looked like a cave with a strange glow. According to Brian, this glow was similar to what was seen in the recent drone footage. This already amazing story took an even stranger turn when Brian described some creepy new details about his experience. As he tried to fly his plane closer to the glowing cave entrance, something never seen before happened. All the aircraft's electronic devices and instruments began to fail. The situation got so bad that they had to perform emergency procedures to restart their systems. To give you an idea of how frightening this is, it's every pilot's worst fear, especially in the tough and remote environment of Antarctica. But the oddness didn't stop there. After this disturbing event, authorities took all records of the flight and refused to talk about or acknowledge the incident at all. This only made the mystery surrounding Brian's story even more interesting. Fascinated by Brian's incredible tale, Linda decided to investigate further. Brian shared even more surprising details with her, pointing out how his experiences were similar to some recent strange discoveries and footage from the continent. One of the most disturbing stories he told dates back to 1987, when Brian was part of a crew on a routine mission flying out of McMurdo Station, a major research outpost in Antarctica. Their mission took an unexpected turn when they were told to fly to a remote campsite in the vast, icy region of Antarctica. What they found there was like something out of a horror movie. The campsite was a disorganized mess, with equipment and personal items scattered everywhere, and not a single person in sight. This creepy discovery marked the start of a series of strange disappearances at various research stations across Antarctica. Adding to the mystery were odd signals picked up by these stations, strange bursts of radio waves in languages no one could understand, as if they were coming from some unknown force buried deep beneath the ice. These unsettling signals caused anxiety among the crew, leaving everyone feeling on edge. Solving the mystery behind these strange events was incredibly difficult, as hidden forces were working hard to keep the truth hidden. Black suits silencing the truth. The situation grew more intense when a group of men in black suits, along with senior Navy officers, arrived at McMurdo Station. Their clear goal was to confront Brian about the strange aircraft he had reported seeing. They pressured him to take back his story, threatening serious consequences if he didn't comply. Despite their threats, Brian refused to back down. Soon after this encounter, while on another mission in a remote area of Antarctica, Brian came across something even stranger. He picked up a faint distress signal coming from beneath an ice shelf, showing yet another glowing hole in the ice. As they got closer to investigate, the plane's systems shut down, throwing them into total darkness. Luckily, they managed to turn on the backup power and escape safely. When Brian returned to McMurdo, he noticed a troubling pattern. His experiences seemed linked to numerous unexplained disappearances of scientists and the sudden closure of research stations across Antarctica. It felt like he had stepped into a real-life science fiction thriller. Overcome with a sense of duty, Brian struggled with guilt for staying silent, especially since others who had spoken up were threatened. In his quest for support, Brian met Linda Howe, a determined investigator dedicated to uncovering hidden truths. Linda was eager to expose the secrets Brian had discovered over the years, ready to help him reveal the mysterious events he had witnessed. Linda carried out detailed investigations, gathering stories from military personnel that supported Brian's account. Witnesses reported seeing advanced aircraft near Antarctica, hearing strange radio signals that couldn't be explained, and observing unidentified objects moving underwater at incredible speeds. Linda also found evidence of temporary structures in Antarctica that were later destroyed, possibly to hide secret operations. She uncovered records of researchers specializing in Antarctic studies who died under mysterious circumstances. Together, Brian and Linda set out on a mission to uncover the truth about these mysterious events in Antarctica. Their investigation revealed a complex web of secret missions carried out by powerful military and scientific groups. Despite Antarctica's status as a place for peaceful scientific research, there was growing tension over territorial claims, hidden resources, and potential nuclear activities. Brian's curiosity soared during a remarkable flight over the Queen Maud mountain range in Antarctica. During this journey, he and his team witnessed an incredible sight, several silver discs emerging from the snowy peaks. These unidentified flying objects, UFOs, moved with advanced aerodynamics, defying all normal expectations and hinting at sophisticated technology or even otherworldly beings. The rugged and harsh Queen Maud mountain range became the focus of Brian's investigations after this extraordinary event. During what was supposed to be a routine flight, he and his crew spotted multiple discs, each about 30 to 40 yards in diameter, flying in perfect formation toward Mount Fridtjof. These metallic objects shone brightly against the clear sky, their movements leaving the experienced crew baffled. The discs spun in unison, accelerated rapidly, and rotated without any visible means of propulsion, defying all known principles of flight. For about 15 minutes, the crew watched this astonishing display until the discs disappeared behind the mountain, leaving them in stunned disbelief. The appearance of these silver discs suggested the existence of hidden bases or advanced technology, pointing to a new and unexplained class of spacecraft capable of vertical takeoff and rapid acceleration. Adding to the mystery, Brian discovered a glowing cave on a subsequent flight. The cave, with its luminescent walls and strange inscriptions, hinted at an ancient civilization or advanced technology buried beneath the ice. The crew also experienced equipment malfunctions, including loss of communication and navigation, suggesting the presence of powerful electromagnetic fields or other unknown forces. These discoveries indicated a vast and well-coordinated cover-up. Brian's story, however, was more than just about the discovery of UFOs. His findings opened up a world of mysteries in the uncharted territories of Antarctica, suggesting secrets and technologies beyond our wildest imaginations. Brian's adventures felt like something straight out of a sci-fi novel. His stories were full of unexplained events and a thick sense of mystery. He talked about scientists too scared to speak and strange sightings that added a creepy twist to his adventures. When Brian's experiences became known to the public, people started to guess that the United States decided to shut down access to Antarctica to keep these secrets hidden. As he flew over the vast stretch of Antarctica, Brian discovered several perfectly round holes in the ice, leading to a cave glowing with a soft blue light. The exactness of these holes and the mysterious glow suggested technology far beyond human abilities. Brian filed an official report detailing his experiences, including strange electromagnetic effects and sightings of 3 objects zooming out of the ice cave. However, before the report could be processed, unknown individuals took it and insisted on his silence. This situation deeply shook Brian, reminding him of legendary tales of hidden spaces beneath Antarctica. Driven by curiosity, he flew over the mysterious location several times. Each time, strange electrical phenomena messed with his aircraft's instruments. On his final trip, just before authorities declared the area off-limits, Brian witnessed another silver disk inside the ice cave. Suddenly, it zoomed upwards, emitting an intense beam of light that knocked out all his equipment. When Brian and his plane regained functionality 20 minutes later, they were 13 kilometers away from the cave, with no memory of how they got there. Despite his best efforts, relentless bad weather and strict flying rules prevented further exploration. Over time, Brian quietly reached out to other pilots who had similar encounters. One colleague based near Ula Peak shared evidence of strange underwater objects in the Weddell Sea, metallic pods moving through the water without causing disturbances. Another friend obtained thermal satellite images showing unusual heat patterns under Wilkes Land, suggesting temporary living quarters or hidden bases. When Brian compared his experiences with information from others, it painted a strong picture of secret operations beneath the Antarctic ice. These operations seemed connected to the advanced silver crafts making impossible moves above the frozen landscape. Brian often lay awake at night, troubled by clear memories of the extraordinary events he had witnessed. The impact of his discoveries, whether terrifying or inspiring, was something he carried with him always, but he was not alone. A growing group of former military personnel, aware of the mysteries surrounding Antarctica, was pushing for the truth to be revealed. However, the twists and turns in this creepy tale of Antarctica were far from over. During another flight, Brian picked up a faint signal coming from under an ice shelf. This led him to discover some perfectly round holes in the ice. As they got closer, the aircraft's communication systems suddenly failed, suggesting something powerful and unknown was interfering. Brian tried to report his findings through coded messages, but this caught the attention of high-ranking officials from the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA. They insisted that Brian keep quiet about everything he had seen. The presence of such high-level officials made it clear that there was something very important and secret hidden in Antarctica. The signals Brian's aircraft picked up were unlike anything he had seen before. They had complex patterns that seemed to carry some kind of information, but where they came from and what they meant were still a mystery. The failure of the communication systems as they got closer to the signal source suggested that there was advanced technology capable of disrupting modern equipment. Brian decided to share his findings with Linda Moe through coded messages, showing he was willing to risk a lot to uncover the truth. DARPA's involvement suggested that the signals were a matter of national security, making it even harder for Brian to reveal what he had discovered. Despite the warnings, Brian stayed determined, driven by a sense of duty and a quest for the truth, hidden civilization, and preserving last frontier. As Brian and Linda dug deeper into the mysteries of Antarctica, they stumbled upon clues of an ancient civilization that had lived under the ice for thousands of years. The technology they found was far more advanced than anything modern science has ever seen. In a central chamber, they discovered artifacts and writings that seemed to come from the distant past. These messages warned about the dangers of misusing technology and upsetting the balance of nature. The remains of this civilization included complex machinery, detailed carvings, and buildings made from materials that were unfamiliar to today's science. The inscriptions were in a unique language that mixed elements from ancient scripts. Inside the central chamber, buried deep in the ice, was a treasure trove of knowledge detailing the civilization's history, achievements, and eventual decline. It appeared this ancient society had mastered incredible technologies like energy manipulation, gravity control, and possibly even space travel. The messages they left behind cautioned against the perils of technological pride and emphasized the need to live in harmony with nature. Brian and Linda's findings offered a rare glimpse into a long-lost chapter of human history. The final expedition, filled with unexpected twists, led Brian and his team to a hidden underground facility that was both ancient and incredibly advanced. Inside this facility, they discovered evidence of a long-lost civilization and highly advanced technology. When Brian and his team returned, their findings were met with doubt and skepticism. However, with the help of a growing group of truth seekers, they began to share their discoveries with the world. This sparked a global debate about the real secrets of Antarctica. The underground facility, buried deep beneath the ice, contained technology that seemed to have been functioning for thousands of years. The layout included power systems, transport networks, and living quarters, all made with materials and methods that modern science didn't recognize. Brian and his team carefully documented their findings with photographs, videos, and detailed reports. Despite facing constant threats from powerful forces trying to hide their discoveries, they persevered. The support from a dedicated group of truth seekers and whistleblowers helped them overcome efforts to discredit and suppress their research. Their revelations triggered a worldwide conversation about Antarctica's true nature and the existence of advanced ancient civilizations. Brian and Linda worked together to reveal truths previously thought to be mere myths. Yet, Brian wasn't the first to encounter such mysteries in Antarctica. Decades earlier, another naval officer had reported similar strange phenomena, but his accounts were dismissed as mere stories. Admiral Richard E. Bird was a groundbreaking American explorer whose daring adventures fascinated people around the world. In 1926, he became a national hero by leading the first flight over the North Pole. However, it was his Antarctic expeditions that truly established his legendary status. In 1929, Bird led a team on a historic flight over the South Pole, revealing some of the continent's icy mysteries to the world. Yet it was Bird's 1947 mission that continued to captivate imaginations and spark controversy. Some accounts suggest that during this expedition, Bird discovered a huge opening in the Antarctic ice that led to an underground world. He reportedly saw lush landscapes, towering mountains, and even ancient creatures. Even more astonishing were his claims of encountering advanced flying discs and beings from this hidden realm who warned him about humanity's dangerous path. Upon returning to the United States, Bird's incredible story was quickly covered up and kept secret by powerful interests. Publicly, he was forced to retract his claims under significant pressure. Despite this, rumors about Bird's discovery persisted, fueling theories about secret bases and ancient civilizations hidden beneath the Antarctic ice. The stories of Admiral Bird played a crucial role in Brian and Linda's investigation, helping to bring these old accounts back to light and sparking a new wave of controversy about the true nature of Antarctica. The discoveries about Antarctica caused a worldwide awakening. Joe Biden's choice to close off the entire continent started to seem like a desperate action. People began questioning old beliefs and demanded that their governments be more open and honest. The secrets found in Antarctica became a strong symbol of the larger fight for knowledge and understanding. After these findings, a new era of exploration and teamwork began. Countries worked together to study the advanced technologies and ancient knowledge found beneath Antarctica's ice. The legacy of Admiral Bird and the bravery of whistleblowers like Brian inspired a new generation of explorers and scientists. These pioneers were driven to uncover the truth and protect the planet for the future. Antarctica, once a frozen mystery, became a beacon of hope and a testament to our relentless spirit of discovery. Global interest in Antarctic research and exploration increased. Nations worked together, guided by international organizations, to uncover the secrets hidden under the ice and use the advanced technologies they found to address global issues. Admiral Bird's long-suspected mysteries about Antarctica were re-examined in light of the discoveries. The courage of Brian and Linda, who revealed the truth, sparked a wave of new explorers, scientists, and activists dedicated to protecting the Earth and advancing human knowledge. Antarctica, once seen as a frozen frontier, transformed into a symbol of hope and the never-ending quest for understanding. The discoveries made beneath its ice highlighted the importance of humility, cooperation, and the search for truth when faced with the unknown. Antarctica is a stunning place, but it is also a crucial battleground for our future. The stakes here are very high: global survival and control. The icy continent faces major threats that could change its fate and affect the whole planet's health. As the ice melts, new findings come to light, and humanity must deal with difficult issues related to conservation, politics, and resource use. Antarctica plays an important role in regulating the global climate and weather. Its huge ice sheets act like Earth's freezer, holding large amounts of water and keeping temperatures steady. But climate change is causing the ice to melt quickly, leading to instability and possibly harmful effects on sea levels worldwide. Each year, more than 250 billion metric tons of ice are lost, raising the need to protect Antarctica's unique environment and its inhabitants, such as penguins and whales. Efforts are underway to protect this delicate ecosystem. These include creating protected areas, regulating fishing, and closely monitoring wildlife populations. At the same time, Antarctica is becoming a key focus for international tensions. Countries like Russia, China, and the United States are interested in the continent's untapped resources, including valuable minerals and oil hidden beneath the ice. Despite the Antarctic Treaty of 1959, which bans military activity and resource exploitation, balancing the preservation of Antarctica's untouched beauty with the pressures of climate change, geopolitical ambitions, and resource desires is a major challenge. This issue highlights the conflict between conservation and economic development, with potentially lasting consequences for our planet's future. The mysteries of Antarctica are not just interesting stories, they are a call to action. As we uncover the secrets hidden beneath the ice, we must decide how to handle these findings. The discoveries in Antarctica challenge our understanding of Earth's history and our place in the universe. They urge us to rethink our role on this planet and consider the possibilities beyond it. By approaching these mysteries with an open yet thoughtful mindset, we can navigate our complex reality and grow as individuals and as a civilization. As the ice continues to melt, the secrets that have been hidden for so long will come to light. This moment represents a crucial opportunity for growth and insight. We must choose to face these discoveries with courage and wisdom, using them to improve our world rather than letting fear of the unknown destabilize us. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. Deep in the frozen vastness of Antarctica, a team of scientists found a hidden room beneath the old ice. Inside, they discovered a huge, crystal-like structure glowing with a faint, steady light. As they moved closer, the walls of the room showed strange, detailed symbols that seemed to move and change. The team's excitement quickly turned to worry when the structure started to vibrate, making the ground shake. But within hours, the US government announced that Antarctica had been shut down after a terrible discovery. A team in black arrived, quickly sealing the site and removing all evidence of the discovery. The government's official statement said it was a safety measure against a possible earthquake threat. However, rumors among scientists suggested a much more troubling truth, a find that could potentially change humanity's understanding of physics and time. As the world watched from a distance, the icy secrets of Antarctica remained hidden, leaving a deep mystery and unanswered questions about what lay beneath the frozen land. What do you think the true secret of Antarctica might be? Let us know your answer in the comments section. The Antarctic Treaty. The Antarctic Treaty and its related agreements, known together as the Antarctic Treaty System, ATS, explain how countries should deal with Antarctica. the only continent without any native human inhabitants. This treaty was the first of its kind during the Cold War, setting Antarctica aside for scientific research only. It guarantees the freedom to do scientific studies and bans any military activities. According to the treaty, Antarctica includes all the land and ice shelves south of 60 degrees latitude. Since September 2004, the Antarctic Treaty Secretariat, which oversees the treaty system, has been located in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The main treaty was open for countries to sign starting December 1, 1959, and officially began on June 23, 1961. The original signatories were 12 nations with active research programs in Antarctica during the International Geophysical Year, IGY, from 1957 to 1958. These countries included Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Chile, France, Japan, New Zealand, Norway, South Africa, the Soviet Union, the United Kingdom, and the United States. They had set up more than 55 research stations in Antarctica during this time, and signing the treaty was seen as a diplomatic way to continue working together on scientific efforts. After World War II, the United States considered claiming territory in Antarctica. In 1946, they launched Operation High Jump, the largest Antarctic expedition ever, involving 13 ships and 4,700 personnel. This mission aimed to train military personnel and test equipment in extreme cold conditions, preparing for possible future military operations. In 1947, the United States included Antarctica in its security zone under the Inter-American Treaty of Reciprocal Assistance to protect it from external threats. In 1948, they proposed putting Antarctica under United Nations control, managed by a group of countries including Argentina, Australia, Chile, France, the United States, the United Kingdom, and New Zealand. This proposal was rejected by several nations. Instead, Chile suggested pausing all territorial claims in Antarctica for 5 to 10 years to allow for negotiations, but this idea did not gain support. In 1950, concerns arose that the Soviet Union might claim parts of Antarctica, potentially worsening Cold War tensions. This led the United States to propose an international agreement to prevent such claims. The post-World War II period saw various conflicts and incidents that led to the creation of the Antarctic Treaty. During the 1950s, Argentina, Chile, and the United Kingdom had disputes over territorial claims, leading to diplomatic tensions and legal issues. The IGY from 1957 to 1958 was a key time for international scientific cooperation in Antarctica, which helped establish the Antarctic Treaty. This treaty aimed to keep Antarctica a place for peaceful scientific research and prevent any territorial claims. It bans nuclear testing, military activities, resource exploitation, and territorial claims. Regular inspections ensure compliance, and only scientific research stations are allowed as permanent structures. The original signatory countries, including 7 with territorial claims and 5 others, hold control rights. Other countries can join as advisory members through significant Antarctic research. From 1991 to 1992, 33 countries updated the treaty by creating the Madrid Protocol, which protects the environment and bans mining and oil exploration for 50 years. During the treaty negotiations, there were various disagreements. The United States, Soviet Union, United Kingdom, and New Zealand initially wanted the UN to manage Antarctica, while Australia and the UK wanted to ensure adherence to the rules, with the UK suggesting military support. Argentina was concerned about nuclear weapons, causing significant tension until the USSR and Chile intervened. Eventually, the US agreed to the treaty, and the discussions concluded. The treaty signing was the first Cold War agreement to control arms and successfully avoided international disputes over Antarctica. As of 2048, any treaty member can propose changes to its rules with support from most members. Additional agreements include measures to protect Antarctic wildlife and plants, conservation of Antarctic seals and marine life, and regulations on mining. The Protocol on Environmental Protection to the Antarctic Treaty focuses on preserving the environment, covering marine pollution, wildlife protection, and waste management. In 1938, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and France agreed on rules for flying over Antarctica, formalized through the exchange of notes. In 2003, Australia and France signed a treaty to collaborate around French southern and Antarctic territories, Heard Island and the McDonald Islands. Later, in 2007, they agreed to jointly enforce fishing laws in these areas. Each year, the Antarctic Treaty System holds Antarctic Treaty Consultative Meetings, ATCM, to manage Antarctica. 57 countries are involved, but only 29 can make decisions. The others can attend, but not vote. The consultative parties include the original 12 signatories and 17 other countries actively involved in Antarctic science. Special Antarctic Treaty Consultative Meetings, SATCM, are held less frequently to address major issues, alongside meetings of experts. As of 2024, 57 countries are part of the treaty, with 29 having consultative status. This group includes the 7 countries with territorial claims. 49 other countries do not recognize these claims. 42 treaty parties have also ratified the Protocol on Environmental Protection to the Antarctic Treaty. The Antarctic Treaty Secretariat, based in Buenos Aires, Argentina, started operating in September 2004. Its main responsibilities include organizing annual meetings, facilitating information exchange among treaty members, and managing public awareness about Antarctic activities. Antarctica is not owned by any single nation and has no permanent residence or central government. Most of its territory is claimed by various countries, though these claims are not universally recognized. The only unclaimed area is between 90 degrees west and 150 degrees west. Countries that signed the treaty enforce its rules through national laws, applying them to their citizens in Antarctica. These laws regulate activities such as tourism and scientific research to protect the environment. The treaty is seen as a model for shared global heritage. For instance, Australia had laws regarding Antarctica before the treaty, applying them to its territory there. Similarly, the United States enforces laws, including criminal statutes, with special deputy U.S. Marshals stationed in Antarctica for law enforcement. One such law is the Antarctic Conservation Act, which regulates activities with penalties for violations, such as hunting native wildlife, introducing non-native species, accessing protected zones, polluting, and importing items from Antarctica to the U.S. Violations can lead to fines and imprisonment. Multiple U.S. departments are involved in enforcement, and expeditions planning to visit Antarctica under U.S. jurisdiction must notify the State Department's Office of Oceans and Polar Affairs, which informs other treaty nations as required. In 2006, an incident at the Amundsen Scott South Pole Station involving the death of Australian astrophysicist Rodney Marks was initially considered natural, but later found to be caused by methanol poisoning. The investigation in New Zealand faced challenges due to inadequate cooperation from the National Science Foundation and contractor Raytheon, as well as jurisdictional issues and reluctance from American witnesses. South African citizens in Antarctica fall under South African law, governed by the South African Citizens in Antarctica Act of 1962, and are subject to the authority of the Magistrates' Court in Cape Town. South Africa also incorporates the Antarctic Treaty and related agreements into its legal framework through the Antarctic Treaties Act of 1996, asserting jurisdiction over its residents and expeditions for treaty violations. What are your thoughts on the shocking announcement by the United States shutting down Antarctica after a terrible discovery? Share your opinion with us in the comments section.